Doubles and coffee. Wow. Over the years, I never got involved in the speculation about who letting the drugs pass, according to David Rudder, and who promoting the drugs and the drug cartels and so on. I don't get into that speculation. But reading the Guardian editorial, the owners of the Guardian, the people who hire the editors, reading that editorial yesterday, this editorial, which goes so far to call a Prime Minister, Kamla Bisesa, a liar, a deceiver, and someone who has put Trinidad and Tobago smack dab into a conflict, possible conflict that's going to happen between the USA, China, Russia, and Venezuela. When Kamla Bisesa has made it clear that she, as the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, would do all in her power to save Trinidad and Tobago from the deleterious effects of the drug trade, narco-terrorism, the narco trade, human trafficking, cocaine trade, and the cartels that have ravaged this country of Trinidad and Tobago by depositing drugs, guns, and ammunition here, that under the People's National Movement, the PNM, the murder rate in this little country of 1.4 million people, 1 million adults, went up to 624 murders in 1 year. But the Guardian comes out calling Kamla Bisesa a liar. Mind you, this Guardian newspaper, when Keith Rowley went into the parliament with 29 out of 31 things that could not even go up into the cloud, could not even be emails, did not have enough characters to be an email, and accused a sitting Prime Minister, Cabinet Security Advisor, and government of conspiracy to commit murder of a journalist and bug the DPP office. And it was seen and shown that this clown, Keith Rowley, was a pathological liar, that he had held these concocted, fabricated documents from where he got them, nobody knew, for 6 months, and then brought it into the parliament. The Guardian newspaper never used the word liar, deceit, deceiver, dishonest against Keith Christopher Rowley. But all of a sudden, the Guardian has a problem and is calling Kamla Bisesa all sorts of names. Now, the Guardian also goes to a stretch, a radar. Let me ask you all this. What is a radar? And what's the purpose of a radar? Now, according to the Guardian, the only purpose of a radar could be to facilitate attacks on another nation. So it couldn't be that you need a radar to ensure that you're protecting yourself, ensure that you're protecting your borders, assure that all authorities, foreign and local, could see drug runners, cartel runners, speedboats with cocaine and bullets and guns on it coming anywhere near your shores to protect you. It can't be for defense. Secondly, according to Rowley and now the Guardian, Kamla Bisesa, who has not threatened Venezuela, has not threatened the people of Venezuela, has only spoken about love, connection, our history, our shared past with the people of Venezuela. Even in the face of threats from Maduro, an indicted narco-terrorist, Delcy Rodriguez, the Minister of Defense of Venezuela, calling our Prime Minister all manner of things, attacking her, threatening the people of Trinidad and Tobago, while not saying a word about the USA that has the problem with Venezuela. Guardian newspaper, Guardian Media Limited, and its owners are portraying the same attitude as Keith Christopher Rowley. Was it not Keith Christopher Rowley that called a press conference as the former and started, like how people were signaling during the coup to go and loot, that Rowley signaled and said, listen, Maduro, you could hit our platforms, our oil and gas out there. We have no protection, no defense against it. We are like sitting ducks. Was it not the former Prime Minister who said that, Keith Rowley? So, is it possible also that a radar could be used to defend against unwarranted, unsubstantiated, malicious attacks by liars, by disgusting oppressors, by dictators, by bullies who cannot handle their fight with who they're fighting with, but they threaten the smaller nation? So is the Guardian newspaper, if what the Guardian is saying, let's say that what the Guardian is saying, because the Guardian is saying that Kamla Bissessa and this government, that they are liars because it's not about drugs, it's not about guns, it's not about the criminal element, it's not about crime detection, it's not about reducing the murder rate on our land, it's not about eliminating ammunition and guns out of the hands of our young people so they stop killing themselves. Even though statistics show that under this government of Kamla Bissessa, crime, serious crime, murders, grievous bodily harm are down 42%. The Guardian doesn't care about that. The Guardian seems to be wanting to protect something else. Something else. And I just heard a song about David Rudder singing, "Who Letting the Cocaine Pass?" Because for the first time, I am seeing an attack on a Prime Minister who's protecting her people from drug runners, narco-terrorists, human traffickers, and those who would wish harm on this Twin Island Republic, keeping us safe. They even attacking a radar. A radar, according to the Guardian, is only used to figure out where targets in Venezuela and if there's war and conflict. It seems like the Guardian newspaper and Keith Rowley are actually wishing war upon Trinidad and Tobago, like they're excited that there's possible war and all of this. They want to get the people into a panic, when the simple fact is that the USA is fighting drugs. They've blown up drug boats with cocaine and guns. All of those guns on those boats could have landed up here in the hands of young men who have not been brought up properly, who don't have the discipline or the love in their heart, and would squeeze that trigger without any fair favor, without any distinguishing ability to understand the damage that comes with squeezing it. So the Guardian and Rowley now seem hell-bent on attacking Kamla, who is protecting her people from the drug cartels, from the narco-terrorists, from the drug trade and the gun trade. So Guardian and radar could only be used for attack and war. It can't be used for defense. So if Venezuela is threatening Trinidad and Tobago and its people, and there's a radar that, as you say, the USA is the ally of Trinidad and Tobago in this geopolitical chess game, and the USA has the capability to defend certain areas once they see what's being hurled or what's flying towards or what's coming towards any area, they could intercept it and defend defense systems, protection. So if you are saying that Kamla Bissessa and the radar and the fight and the joining of the USA is not against narco-terrorists, if you say that it's not against drug runners, but it's about war, then what do you have a problem with the radar for? Because a radar is used for defensive position, defensive posture. You have no problem with Venezuela threatening the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You have no problem with the Minister of Defense of Venezuela threatening and calling the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago all manner of things. Is that your politics? A Guardian media, now I know it, but now the people are aware of it. The fact of the matter is that the drug runners are running scared, and it is quite possible and probable when you cannot get in through one area, you try to take an alternative route, that alternative route could bring pain, drugs, and guns to the citizens of Tobago. So Kamla Persad and the government allowing a radar to be there to defend the borders, to allow all manner of communication, understanding for the defense force, for the army, for the coast guard, for all those around to check, to see, to curtail the drug trade, the cocaine trade, the gun trade, and the ammunition trade. Guardian newspaper, please tell me, why would you be against that? Why would you be defending narco-terrorists, the cartels, drug trade, drug runners, gun runners? You need to respond now, Guardian Media Limited, its owners, its shareholders. You need to talk now. Because Kamla Persad says duly elected to keep this country safe. She's doing her job. Murders are going down. Drugs are running dry. And Kamla Persad stands with the USA against narco-terrorists. The Venezuelan government, which you make no note, you just talk about them like they're just normal. But the Venezuelan government is attacking orally, verbally, throwing threats at the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Yet you have no problem with that. And the radar can protect. The radar can protect what Rowley announced to the world is unprotected. Our oil and gas, our lifeblood for our people, to get food for our people, laptops, education, hospital, medicine, roads, drainage. Rowley signal as a former that those things could be hit easily by Maduro, as if sending a message to Maduro about what to hit to hurt Trinidad and Tobago. A radar can protect that. A radar can sense what is going there if there's any threat going to any platform. A radar can tell us when drugs are passing with guns at speeds in the dark of night, the pitch black water out there at midnight. But the Guardian is against that. Why is the Guardian against eliminating the drug trade, the cartels, the guns, the human trafficking? You must now answer, Guardian, and to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is the kind of nonsense that passes as media in Trinidad and Tobago. When I tell you that this Guardian newspaper, this Guardian Media Limited, their owners, their shareholders, their editors are sickening P&M. Now you know it. I've never read more asinine analysis in my life. Kamla Persad stands against drugs, stands against the cartels, stands against guns coming into her country for her children to kill themselves and kill others. She is one by one protecting her people. Today we go to the Senate to debate stand your ground legislation, castle doctrine, against home invasion, the home invasion bill 2025, and the P&M is set against it. Set against safety, set against security, set against you protecting yourself, and set against Trinidad and Tobago protecting ourselves. The United States of America is our #1 trading partner. Our economy, our lifeblood depends on the USA. Our citizens are intrinsically linked with the USA, culturally, musically, sporting-wise, business-wise, home-wise, safety-wise. Yet the Guardian seems to be on the side of narco-terrorists, drug runners, gun runners, and human traffickers. Guardian newspaper, you must explain to the entire population this asinine analysis about a radar. Ladies and gentlemen, stay calm. Kamla Persad is a prime minister with heart, soul, care, and brain. She's not like a former, and the former who used to zing back and forth in secret to Venezuela, dancing the conga line and making secret deals behind your backs. Trinidad and Tobago is safe and protected, and going forward the economy will boom. Guardian Media Limited, now you must answer. Why are you supporting the drug cartels, the cocaine runners, and the gun runners? Explain. I'm listening with bated breath.